Welcome to another edition of Secrets of the Super Rich Friday. I'm your host, Tim McNeely, and wow, am I excited to have you here today. Here on Dental Wealth Nation, we help you build an amazing life of significance so you can take even better care of the people you love, support the causes you care about, and really keep changing the world for the better. And I'm so excited about today's topic. We are going to be talking about the many benefits of building a family brand. Well, if you think about the world today, right, brands are everywhere, right? Nike and Apple or Android, Google, Facebook, right? We know brands, Ferrari, right? Maybe even your dental practice has become known as a well-known brand in your area. And this is really what we want to talk about today is how can brand help your family? How can it define what you do, what you stand for, and more importantly, how can it become a wealth creation tool for you and the people you love? So let's dive right in and talk about the many benefits of building a family brand. So you really have the opportunity to define what your family cares for, stands for, and what you're going to carve out in the world, or you can let the world do it for you. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be able to define what your family brand is. And what we find in the studies is when families become clear and intentional about their values, you can become even more connected and even more financially successful. Some of the things that are going to go into the family brand that we're going to talk about today are the culture of the family, the language and the experiences. These are really some of the key areas that matter. So why a family brand? Well, we worked with someone named Chris Smith of the Campfire Effect, who's one of the most masterful framers, marketers, communication experts out there to really help you come up with what a family brand is, why a family brand matters, and how you can use it. And in talking with Chris really believes that the best way for you to create healthier connections, better leaders, greater prosperity, and stronger overall society doesn't really hinge on who you vote for, which laws get enacted. Really, the most crucial driver for you to consider is the family. That is the bedrock of society. And if you can be intentional with what your family does, with what you believe, with what you value, with what you stand for, you're going to go a whole lot further in life. The idea here is really there's outside influences all around you, acting on you all day long. Social media, the news, conspiracy theories, fake news, real news, who knows what kind of news it is, right? And if you don't consciously define who you are and who you want to be, the world's going to do it for you. And like I said, I don't want that to happen. I want to give you some tools so that you can define what your brand is. And we really want to build that brand as a shield and a way to block out all that noise. That way you can control the narrative in your family in terms of what's important to you, right? It sounds great, doesn't it? Well, the thing is, so few families have actually taken this step. And I see some viewers logging on. If you've got questions about building a family brand, or if this is going to be valuable to you, go ahead and type those in the comments. We're live, so I'm happy to answer any questions that come in. So why a family brand? Well, let's look at some of the multiple benefits of creating that family brand for you. Just because it may take a while, and it's going to take a little time and effort for you to get clear on your family values, your family brand. But the truth is, many families, they're going to stay together, they're going to forge stronger connections, and they're going to really be able to share out and spell out their shared value. You're going to be happier, you're going to enjoy being around each other, because you're going to have that mission that connects you. For other families, simply getting clarity on your shared values and goals, it's really a great way to mitigate some of the biggest threats of families today, right? We've got divorce, depression, drug abuse, so many things that can come in and really derail your family. But by getting intentional, by getting all on the same page, you can absolutely help prevent some of these things. But just in case these benefits don't really resonate with you, know that building a family brand, it can also help potentially protect your family's security and net worth, right? This is Secrets of the Super Rich Friday, so we do talk about money, right? Your net worth is so important. And I want to share a stunning statistic with you. You may have seen this before, but 70% of wealthy families, so right, the super majority, 70%, 7 out of 10, they lose their wealth by the second generation. 70% of the families, wealth is wiped out of the second generation. When you look at the third generation, those numbers are even more staggering. 90% of wealth is wiped out by the third generation. So everything you work so hard at really If you're just one of the statistics, you got a 70% chance that everything you've worked for, everything you're going to pass for your kids is gone by the second generation. You got a 90% chance that by the third generation, everything is gone. And really, by talking to your kids, with your grandkids, about your family values, about your responsibilities, about the role that money plays in your life, it can help you lay a groundwork for smarter, more responsible habits around spending, savings, investing. And the more you can arm yourself and your family with clarity about what matters, your kids, they can use those inherited wealth so they can really live a more authentic and meaningful life to better support the communities around them. And I just want to share a story of how this has impacted my life. So my wife, her grandfather was very, very successful. He owned a Harley Davidson dealership, right? How cool is that, right? You're a little kid, you get to ride to school on a Harley every single day, right? That's pretty awesome. So that was my wife's grandfather. And he made some really smart choices with his money. He had that family brand. He came from nothing. He's a self-made man, didn't have a lot of education, but he knew the importance of education. So he made some wise choices. He surrounded himself with some great advisors, and he was able to establish a college savings trust for my wife. And she was able to go to dental school, which is kind of expensive, as you know, and she was able to graduate without any debt whatsoever. And you may be thinking, okay, that's cool, whatever. How does that impact anything? Well, the way that impacted our family is by my wife not having any dental school debt over her head. We've been able to do several trips overseas to support kids in orphanages that we're passionate about. We're big fans of Compassion International. We were able to go over there, visit the kids, form connections, and we've been able to do things that we wouldn't have been otherwise able to do because of those values that were instilled. And it wasn't the values of, hey, you don't have any debt, you can make more money, and you can go sit on an island and drink more martinis. It was, hey, we're instilling values of charity, of kindness, of goodness, of giving back. And because those values were passed down from her grandfather, they still live on today. And you can do that too. And that's why I'm sharing with you the importance of building a family brand. So you've decided this is important. You see the value of it. How do you do it, right? What are really the three pillars of your family brand, and what should you consider? Well, in talking with Chris Smith of the Campfire Effect, one of the masterful framers and marketers and communicators today, we really came up with three core things that you want to consider in your family brand. Number one, take a look at the culture. And culture in your family is really how you as a family connect. Make no mistake, there is a culture inside of your house right now, even if you've never identified it, right? There's absolutely a culture running through your house. And your job as the parents, as mom, as dad, you want to identify what that culture is and then assess whether it's the right culture for you. Or if you'd prefer to reshape it, do you have a culture of openness, of learning, of caring, of compassion? Or do you have a culture of criticizing and driving your kids to perform no matter what? Or are you creating a culture where, you know what, failure is okay, because if you're failing, you're at least trying something. So what's that culture inside of your family? And that's really the first part, is you want to start with what does your family culture look like now versus where you want to go, and it really can run the gamut. And as you think about that culture in your family, leadership and ownership should absolutely be part of it, regardless of whatever culture you land on. Everyone, your kids and you're going to want to have to demonstrate that through your actions. Otherwise, you're actually never going to actualize on that culture. So for example, if you have a culture of forgiveness, of kindness, of charity, and all of a sudden you as the parent have a blockbuster in your business and you go, hey, we made all this extra money, let's go buy a Ferrari. Well, you're really not demonstrating that value of charity. So you want to put your money where your mouth is. You got to live out the culture that you connect. Pillar number two of your culture, let me just pull this back up here, is going to be language, right? How do you communicate, right? What is that part of communication that you're talking with, and what does it really look like? And when you get into the language part, right, language is how you can take a stand for what you're committed to as a family. It's how you declare your values, the language we use to describe ourselves, our kids, our friends, and that really does create an environment. So for example, if I'm running around and everyone I deal with is stupid and dumb and not hardworking and can't get the job done, well, see how that language is creating culture, as opposed to if I'm viewing my team members and my family as valued employees, as people I'm on a path with, as partners and people I want to take care of. That language that you use is really going to shape the culture. And some of the ways you can put this language in practice is you can look at things like just a mission statement dealing with what you stand for today. Then you can create a vision statement that's going to spell out where you want to go in the future. And you can also spell out a value statement that shows the principles that you as a family live by. And a couple quick examples of mission statements could be things like, we believe when we love ourselves and others, we find joy. Or if you're an entrepreneur, this should ring true with you. We believe in creating value for others helps us create the life we want. And as an entrepreneur, I hope that resonates with you, because that is the entrepreneurial journey, is you believe, hopefully, in creating value for others, and that's how you get what you want, right? That is the entrepreneurial journey. So if you really want to start that mission statement, go ahead and start with we believe. Don't write what our mission is, write what you believe. And those are very, very powerful words, because it's different for me to say, well, my mission is, as opposed to I believe. And so start that mission statement off with the words, we believe. Number two, use language that's going to really emphasize creation of this process. You can use words like, we are committed to, so much stronger than our vision is. Once again, the language you use, it's going to impact your outcomes. And then lastly, pillar number three of creating that amazing family brand for yourself is experiences, right? Take a stand for what you want to create as a family. Look, you absolutely cannot control every experience that's going to come your way, but you can control the kind of experiences that you want to create. And creating this experience you want as a family, it can be done through a couple different tools that I want to share with you. You can use something called the Connection Blueprint. And this is a document that's really going to detail the specific things that are going on in your family that you all feel connected when your life is running smoothly. You know what things to do. You know how to bring the family together. And if you notice that you're disconnecting and struggling, that blueprint can serve as a map to help bring you back to the things that are really important to you. You can also do something called a traditions audit. And I love this. I think this is so powerful. But audit the traditions that are in your family, right? You have traditions just like you have a culture in your family. Look at the traditions that are taking place. Maybe it's that annual trip, the ski trip that you take, or maybe it's going, to visit grandma, or maybe you have some other traditions. Take a look at those traditions and audit what you do on a regular basis, and then assess if those actions are really truly serving your mission, your value, the brand that you've put in together. You may show up at a holiday party every year because that's just what you're supposed to do, but does it actually align with what you're trying to achieve? Some of these traditions, they may seem small, but they may have a really, really big impact. And so, well, what have we learned? What I want to share with you, right? Building a family brand. It can help you increase your net worth. It can help transfer assets to many generations better than any legal document can, right? Legal documents are certainly important, but it doesn't guarantee the success and the passing on of your values to the next generation. A family brand can absolutely do that. So if you don't define your family value, well, the world's going to do it for you. Outside forces are absolutely going to shape your family brand. And your family's physical, emotion, and financial health, it can be so much stronger if you put together this family brand. Now, I got some great news for you. We have this all together in a special report. If you'd like a copy of the report, just go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll get that to you. It's a great report. We give you the details of how you do this. We'll get it right off to you, the benefits of building a family brand right here. Very, very powerful. And be happy to send that to you. get you a copy. I'll run through it real quick for you so you can see what's in there. But yeah, if you want a copy, just put that in the comments. Say, hey Tim, send me a copy on building a family brand. I'm happy to help you out do that, because I want you to build that amazing life of significance so you can take even better care of the people you love, support the causes you care about, and really make the difference in the world. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of Secrets from the Super Rich Friday. I'm your host, Tim McNeely. Now, don't just listen to this. Get out there and implement it. And if you do that, you're going to make it a great day. I'm Tim McNeely, and I'm in your corner.